Alright, hello everyone. I just wanted to come and say a couple words. I had my hopes on a fall garden for when it gets cooler in this year, but I decided to wait because this ground has never been used before as a garden. So I'm trying to get up the roots and till up the soil, and I also, here I'll show you, I also have to, that is the bed that I did, and I put these borders up to try to keep my dog out, mainly to keep people from walking on the dirt so it can settle. But I need to amend the soil in certain ways, but I need to test it first to see exactly what needs to be put into it. And I am now down to 2 onions. This one fell over by itself, and I was afraid that if I left it in any longer, something would start eating it. So I just pulled it on, laid it out so that the skin can dry out. But I have those, well, technically it's 3. There's 2 little ones over there. But what I did wrong was I pulled off the board from this area right here. And this right here, these boards right here, were the brace for the floor. And all I did was drop it on the ground and put topsoil on it in the beds and planted in that. Well, I come to find out topsoil is not your best friend when trying to grow plants. You need to mix other things in it as well, according to what you're going to grow. So this was my first garden, not really knowing what I was doing. It hasn't really produced a whole lot. I've gotten about 4 or 5 onions out of it though, and I'm hoping for more with these strawberries coming up. They seem to be getting these little buds on them like that, so I'm hoping something will come out of it soon. Hoping to get strawberries. And this big guy right here, so I've got one coming up right there. And this one, this is eye level to my face, and it still goes up. And I had to pinch the top off so that it would quit growing up, because I can't hardly reach up there anymore. That's my last one I'm gonna have growing on this big plant. I think I planted, I'm not sure what kind of okra this is. If anyone knows, please put a comment. Say it in the comments below for me, please. And then those 3 right there didn't do so great. So I think a lot of it just had to do with the fact that this ground right here, see, that's a big root right there. I did not till this up, and I did not cut out all the roots. I just laid these boards on the floor, on the top of the ground, and put bags of topsoil in it to fill them in, and planted directly into it, which doesn't really have any nutrients. And since I have added potting soil to it to try to give it some nutrients to see if I could get anything to grow, which is what all those white specks are. But I do have a good announcement, and that is I have 2 bell peppers growing pretty well, actually. It's my first good crop, other than the okra that I've been able to harvest and freeze. But I have these 3 little plants. Well, this is the biggest one of them all, and that one hasn't really produced anything. It's just kind of been food for the bugs. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did. I did not prepare the ground or my garden, period. So excuse all the mess I'm about to show, but this is my plan come hopefully February. I plan on trying to get rid of this whole flooring section right here. That's my compost I'm making. It's actually turning out quite well right now. It's decomposing well. And I have bags of potting soil in there I'm trying to keep dry. But this is pretty much the length that I want it. And that board back off over there, you can see, is about the distance that I want it. So it's a pretty big area that I plan on trying to use along with that. So hopefully I have a tiller coming to me, or I'm gonna go pick it up. I have to find out first if it works right. And when I get that, I'm gonna let these finish doing what they can do for the duration of the rest of the growing season. See what I can get out of them, and then from there I plan on. Okay, thank you. Sorry, that was my daughter. I plan on pulling these up, cutting the roots off, throwing them back in my my compost, and not my strawberries though. I plan on pulling them up and potting them and trying to keep them in the house if I can, or building a greenhouse so that I can sustain them through the winter. But this is pretty much it. That's my plan right now. I had to change it up because this this dirt probably would not grow much right now if I were to try and plant anything in it right now. Just because it's been covered for so long, and it had mold growing on top of it and mildew. So I was basically just trying to let it air out, I guess, and pull all the roots and stuff out. And sorry about all the and-ums. I have a hard time keeping my thoughts together as I have a lot to think about. But that's pretty much it. I plan on fixing this up and making this a whole big garden. I'd love to do a couple of good raised beds off in here with a little walkway through them. Would be awesome for me. So if anyone has any tips on plants that they have had success with, then I am open to that as well. On any specific type of plant that has worked well for them in the past, especially around Mobile area, any type of vegetables that on the type of plant, because I think some of the ones that I planted, I don't think they do too well down here. I just kind of grabbed some seeds and tried to start a garden, and I'm kind of learning as I go that I did a good bit wrong. So hopefully I can learn some more and get to a better garden next year. So thank you all for watching, and please share.